Well, it's Wednesday. It's May 15th, and you were fastest overall with a lap of 257 miles an hour. Right, Sebastien Bourdais?
Sign me up.
Or Joseph Newgarden, who went really quick, too. You're looking good, Joseph. You're looking more seasoned. I like the glasses. It's looking good. Seb, let's talk about this day. We had our first two crashes. Luckily, Fernando Alonso and Felix Rosenqvist are okay. Crews have some work to do. Learned just recently they're also changing the motor in Fernando's car. There's a cracked cam cover on that, but both of them are fine. Should be back out here tomorrow, hopefully. Big news of the day, though, was, boy, if we thought the opening day of practice had drafting parties, holy cow. This looked like carb day almost at times. Did you get to play in the tow party at all? What was it like from your end?
Yeah, no, I mean it was one of the kind of last full day of just traffic. Like tomorrow, and you're gonna have to try and start to get your car in quali trims and see what it does and get some aero datas and this and that. And so yeah, I mean today was important. Definitely played around with other guys, and it's not easy. Conditions are still fairly favorable, but man, I hope it's not going to be a hot one again, because it's hard. It's just really hard. And you see a lot of P1, P2 in line playing, and then a lot watching behind. And you can be more of an annoyance than others, like kind of making them look in their mirrors, but there's really just not much going on. So it's just kind of a big accordion effect, and speeds are high. The draft is pulling really, really strong. But then when you get there, it's really tough. So
that was a thing
yeah.
I was watching, you were watching, and maybe you were watching at home. We'd see the first one or two cars being able to tow and play and pass. If you were third on back, it seemed to be a real challenge. The big leapfrog thing of you're fourth in line and can you get a big... No. You need to be second in line. Seemed to be the general thing we saw today.
Yeah, I mean it's so basically the way it feels from the inside, and I don't pretend that's really what's happening, but it does feel that way. Basically, P2 gets that massive speed differential to P1 because the guy in the front is dragging the anchor and getting no help. So they're constantly swapping positions. But the speed differential between P2 and P3 and P3 and P4 can never seem to be big enough unless somebody has a big checkup and purposely kind of helps to slide back. Can never seem to just make the pass. Like you just die on the guy, but you just can never seem to just make the pass. And the second thing is everybody's in line. Anybody who pulls out, well, you stall out big. So it's a challenge. It really is a challenge. And
It sounds too much like restrictor plate racing.
Well, but it's not really. I mean, it feels fairly low on downforce. Like when you're in the pack, the car gets light and it gets really tricky, and you can definitely see better or worse cars, but you're just really kind of not seeing that much dynamic. So I think everybody's still trying to figure it out, and you do see some action in the pack by just guys kind of mistiming it, and so if you kind of get a run, and then you actually see passes in the short shoot because someone checks up going in 1 or 3, and then next thing you know, boom, somebody gets a big run and makes it happen in the short shoot. But it's tough to just kind of carry 1 and 2 or 3 and 4 and make something happen on the next hand. So yeah, kind of a different deal so far from what we've seen.
Head scratcher, it sounds like.
Yeah, and you talk to a lot of the guys, and they're not really complaining so much about their balance. They're just complaining about, well, man, yeah, I'm happy leading second, and then I get third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or whatever, and it's like car gets light, and I can't keep enough foot in it. So you can keep it balanced, but there's always something that gives up. So. Wow. We've seen, obviously, Felix being aggressive, and I don't know if it was the apron or if he just got a bit too aggressive with the tools, but the thing just went around. Fernando washed out and hit the wall on exit of 3. So there seems to be plenty of ways to make mistakes and hit. And not an easy thing to execute and make things happen.
A couple of other interesting things today. Those watching at home might have seen that Alexander Rossi is at almost the bottom of the speed charts. Oh my goodness.
Well, it was in jeans really early too, so I don't know.
But what's wrong with the 2016 500 winner? Well, then you look over and see the no-toe speed and you realize that he is right there. So if we're just looking at agendas, potentially it looks like the Andretti folks with some cars could be working pretty impressively on single car qualifying mode, but maybe have not gone out and really went for a big lap and a toe today. One team that's impressed the heck out of me, you guys might have noticed as well through 2 days now, that's Juncos Racing, the little plain white wrapper car with nothing on it in terms of sponsorship yet. Ricardo Juncos did tell me at the end of the day they've got some folks who've called and some business that's been done, so that's great news. But Kyle Kaiser, what is he, P11 I think overall today in speed chart, was like P7 on no-toe. Little one-car team, no technical alliances with anybody. And you look at some of the folks behind them and go, wow, I love these stories, Seb, where in theory they should be scraping themselves up to 35th fastest, but they're up there playing hard. Great to see that.
Yeah, you got Tom Brown.
Tom Brown's the man.
He's been out there forever. I've worked with him. He gave me a rocket ship at Fontana. And it's just, yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's a great thing. Young talent,
he knows,
a veteran engineer.
He knows super speedway stuff, that's for sure. It always seems to come back to the same equation. Like, if you got a small group with good people in it and you execute, the basics right, Chip says that all the time. Like, do the obvious things right, and it pays off in IndyCar. And again, it's the little team that could.
I love it. Let's close on two things, Seb. So Alonso's crash, again, he's fine. They're going to be back out tomorrow morning, et cetera, et cetera. Where's your concern level if you were Fernando, knowing that this is still a new team? They missed 5 hours of running today. They didn't do a ton of running yesterday, had some issues here or there. I mean, there's not a lot of time left to try and find speed. It's one thing if they just ended today slow and had to throw a lot of new things at it. They're recovering from a crash and for the most part are way behind. What's the level of concern there?
I don't know how much alliance they have with Colin. I don't know how much they can lean on those guys, if there's going to be some setup sheet swapping, or even like if they're sharing and doing some debriefs together. I hope they do, because if they don't, it's going to be a big hit. Like, and they're going to have to start obviously thinking about qualifying pretty soon, like everybody else. And they didn't really do much of anything, from Tuesday and today. So it's hard. Like, when you feel like behind the 8 ball like that, and you have a pretty major setback like that. I don't know what's the level of preparation of that spare chassis. So I don't even know if they were going to the spare tub. The underwing was done on the right side, so. Body fitting is kind of a thing on speedways. So, it's just, honestly, I just don't know enough of how much preparation they had, how many spares, and being like kind of a one-off and a new team in the thing, you would think that maybe it's kind of shortened stuff a little bit. So, not sure it's going to be an easy one for them. But, unfortunately, I think a lot of us were kind of thinking like, man, that's a steep hill to climb there, and
I like the fact that
it looks that way a bit.
I like the fact that the big name McLaren Racing, the big name Fernando Alonso, the big name Gilles de Ferran, etc., they're not showing up. Those names mean nothing. Those names mean there's a lot of great history. This place gives nothing to anyone, and
it doesn't owe anything to anyone.
I hate the fact that they and any other team are having to go through a rebuild right now. I just do appreciate the fact. I hope fans appreciate the fact that there's no guarantees, and if McLaren and Fernando are having struggles, that just tells you this place is no joke.
No, it bites, and I don't know if Felix is, but he had a big one today too, and that, those leave a trace. Like, it hurts your confidence. It's sets you back. And I mean, Felix is obviously very brave and doesn't seem to be phased too much by anything really. But man, that was a hard hit. And, spun 360 and more, crushed the what, right side, left side?
Yeah, he did.
Right side.
He did the car pretty good.
So it was actually a double spin, I think, before he hit the wall flat, and then hit the tires on the inside of 2. So that was a pretty stout hit. So yeah, I mean, once again, this place just shows no mercy, and every time you, like, I don't think there's a single run where I go out there and I just don't feel like, hey, you know what? Just like a little click there and a little click of bar. Just like keep a little bit of margin just in case, because like wind's not really strong yet, but still it kind of spins a bit, and you never know. Like the cars are tough to drive. Like people have no idea this is hard right now, and it's not even hot. Like I don't know.
Wait till the air gets thin, things get greasy.
It's gonna get greasy on Saturday, it looks like, and I'm not quite sure what we're gonna be up against, but it's this place gets very challenging real quick. So stay tuned.
Speaking of stay tuned, we saw your Ford Chip Ganassi teammate, co-Le Mans winner Joey Hand show up today. It doesn't sound like you're going to have to do any more subbing immediately for the IMSA program. Great to see Joey here. So what's the plan for tomorrow? What, not just for you guys, do you think, but rest of the teams? What do you think folks are shifting? Is it full wake up Thursday and come and start doing qualifying trim? Do you spend the first half of the day still trying to do race stuff? What do you think?
Yeah, first part of the day race stuff, and then prep the car for qualifying stuff, and go and get out there and see what animal we got. Start down the trimming list. Obviously you go from running in mid-70s like that. Everybody seemed to be anywhere from +2 on the rear wing to kind of 0, depending on track temp and what you wanted to do. You're gonna go out there at -7 on rear wing and do all the little trick stuff for qualifying, just trying to get rid of all the little drag you can get rid of and pick up the speed. So yeah, I mean, speeds are not gonna be much faster than what we've seen. Like the toes we get, like when you are at the tail end of the pack trying to catch up and then see how the car behaves, which is really what you're trying to do right now. Like just run the pack down, try and see if you can pick off cars one at a time and move forward and see what the balance is like and what the grip and the evolution of the tires and this and that. So tomorrow you can try and get some good reads on your own, no help from anyone. If you want to set a big lap, yeah, you can sure tow around and stuff, but you're not really going to learn yourself any valuable lessons for qualifying. So it all depends what you're trying to do, but speeds are very deceiving here. Like people are always getting really excited about stuff, but like you said, Bruce Rossi, for example, like he didn't show anything, but yeah, they're setting themselves up for trying to get answers and validate and get the car to the best window possible to set a good time on your own and qualify up there.
So Seb is not a religious man, but you'll know when they switch to qualifying setup when they're going to -6, 7 on the rear wing, because you'll just look for him praying. Then you'll know he's heading out for a quali sim. All right, Seb.
No, my prayer is my stiffer front bar and a kick to the right.
All right. We'll pour some holy water on those. We're still missing Bacon. We love our Bacon. He's up writing the race report for RACER.com right now. So
somebody's got to work. We're not.
Yeah,
so.
We're just here gabbing away. If we haven't put you to sleep yet, that is the French fry to my hamburger. Thank you for tuning in here on a Wednesday evening. Beautiful, beautiful evening here in
I'm
Indiana.
feeling like I'm losing energy. I'm boring people already. Like this place burns me down.
Poor guy. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow, and we're going to fill him full of energy drinks, and I don't know what. I need more coffee, but... we should shut up now, yeah?
All right.
All right.